I love big boxes.
2018 Citroen C3. Ever since MJX came out with their 1/7 scale rally car, also a Citroen C3, I have gotten quite a few requests to do this one. Also, a 1/7 scale. Note, not the best packaging for something so huge. This thing can bounce around all kinds of ways in here. What? The mirror's been punching into the cardboard. Doesn't look damaged, at least. Does look good though. What is going on there? The body's dragging on the tire a little bit. The other side does it too. Look at that in a second. First off, this has the Red Bull livery. I know it's licensed by Citroen. I don't know if it's licensed by Red Bull. Now this is the King Motors or Traction Hobby, depending on who you ask. It's the same company, I believe. Suspension feels pretty good. And a Dumbo RC radio. Oh, it's the DDF 350. I've not had one of those yet. Some extra gears and shock pistons in there. At the end of this video, we'll talk about which one of these I like better, or the pros and cons to each one, and which one I'd say is a better value. And by the way, this MJX here is gonna be my next raffle, a brand new one, meaning you can enter for a chance to win this. To enter, you can scan this QR code on the screen, or of course, there's a link in the description. These tires are pretty sticky feeling. This tread pattern should do good on and off road. It is a clipless body. I think, yeah, how's that work? Ah, there's a third one back here. Gotcha. They mean business with this body. Now, this one has inner fenders. That's good because most of them don't. This might actually be the first one I have that comes with inner fender wells. Whoa, flexible. Full metal shocks, metal shock towers, metal chassis, adjustable motor mount. Looks like Mod 1 gears. Always good to see. Oh. Wait, what is that? What is that? Does this one do the two-wheel drive thing? I think that's what that's gonna be. Yeah, I mean, that looks like it'll decouple the front drive shaft. So I think there's gonna be a button on the controller that'll switch this to two-wheel drive, which I think will be a fun thing to mess around with, because I really need to improve my two-wheel drive skills anyway. 4074 2100 kV brushless motor. Steering servo sitting right next to the smaller servo that controls that two-wheel drive, I think what it is, actuator. She does have some droop screws. That's always good for adjustability. Looks like a waterproofed, is that metal? That's metal. A metal waterproof receiver box. Got gaskets where the wires penetrate. Adjustable battery tray. Nice thick straps. This is the first Traction Hobby or King Motors vehicle that I've had. So far, I'm not upset. I like this. Well, except for possibly this body thing. I don't know what's going on there yet. The body doesn't look damaged. We'll take a closer look at that in a minute. A WP8BL 100 amp ESC. The cool thing about this motor is there is room to go bigger, and the motor mount slides upwards, not just horizontally. Adjustable upper links, adjustable tie rods, sway bars, metal lower hinge pin brackets, and yeah, those are thick. Those are thick hinge pin brackets. This front one's not as thick as literally all the other ones. Probably because it has the big old foam smash stopper up here. Extra plastic bracing on top of the bulkheads. And these control arms are, well, relatively beefy. They don't feel super flexible, but they feel super thick. Now, after I drive this, I'm gonna do some side-by-side comparisons with the MJX, because I know a lot of people want to know that. This one is more expensive. I'd say the biggest complaint with the MJX that I heard is that it's not fast enough. It goes, I think I got 37 miles an hour on 4S. To me, that was mostly fast enough, because rally cars, I like to do just like maneuvers in the dirt and stuff more than anything. But I still think it probably should have had a little more speed. But we'll look more into that after we see how fast it actually goes. Center differential in there. Center diff does feel like it has some viscousness to the fluid. The front and rear might have some fluid in it. Yeah, in the front at least. The front feels a little bit thicker than the rear does. All metal drive shafts and axles. I am gonna adjust the rear suspension a little bit. It feels like it sags just a little too far, so I'm gonna preload these just a tiny bit more. There we go. That's better. I think that's a metal body. If not, it's a very metally looking plastic. And again, I think that's metal. Maybe it's deceiving me. Oh yeah, that's metal. And I showed it has these wire gaskets, but it does not have a gasket around the top. And it uses a Dean's plug. Now, Dean's plug's probably not the best connector for a 4S battery, but I've used them on 4S vehicles before, including with adapters, and never had a problem. But I will be using this adapter. So I did trim a little bit of the body because of all that body rub that we had earlier. I don't know why it was doing that. I can't imagine they're all that way. Hopefully it's isolated to just mine. But I trimmed the body. It still touches a little bit, but it's mostly rubbing on those inner fender wells than it is the body itself. The MJX is easily one of my favorite releases of this year. Hopefully this is a strong contender and goes faster. Bonus points! It has movable wipers! Okay, so about the clipless body system, it's really not too bad. There's a clip under here, compress it and pull up on the body, and then there's two on the sides, pull up and then push forward. Because it's got these little nubbies here that go into those holes there. Oh no! So batteries in this DDF 350. We're gonna use a little 2S test battery here. Ooh, looks like Yoda. Servo's fine. Seems powerful enough, not very fast. Oh, okay, did you see that? So that made it 2-wheel drive, there we go. Are you supposed to be able to switch that on the fly? Ooh, no, I wouldn't do that. All right, so the gyro comes default off. You have to open up the receiver and hit the bind button 3 times to turn it on, if you want it on. And then it also came reversed, so you have to hit the bind button twice to reverse it so that it actually gyros in the correct direction. I think I'm gonna set this at 25% and see how I like it. And it does go back on just as easy, maybe even easier. Just line up those front pegs, position the rear, and push it down. We're locked. Now before we can play, I've got a quick lawn cleanup to do. Oh, we're gonna need a better pool vacuum. All right, come on, speed. I don't know, I guess I'd like to see 42 out of it. I don't think that was 42. Scraping the rocks. I probably need to lift the suspension a little bit more. 29? There's gotta be something in this remote that I couldn't find. I think I found the speed setting in this thing. All right, maybe I'm doing something wrong, but let's, wait a second. That feels faster. Still 29. Hopefully that translates into a whole lot of dust kicking up torque. I'm gonna double check that I did this correctly. People were complaining about the MJX, and this is 8 miles an hour slower than that one. Whatever, it's not a speed car. Let's do what it's really made for. Whoa, couldn't even see it. At least it has inner fender wells. Hopefully we'll end up with a clean chassis afterwards.
Hey dude, try this one.
Options for floor, wall, eco mode, and all. Dual rubber brushes. Brushes under here to help push stuff into the gunk hole.
Oh my gosh.
And she's off. Once you hit a button a couple of times, you can swim with it while it cleans, or you can go do other stuff. Oh, yeah. It does have really good, smooth control so far. Whoa. We hit a hippo. I'm sorry. I'm gonna take you home and make sure you never get hurt again. that was a tree that I couldn't see. Silly me. Now the MJX looked like I packed it full of straw like a scarecrow. Well, pine needles. So it'll be interesting to see how well those fender wells help here. So it's a little slow, and I know I haven't done the two-wheel drive switch over yet. We're gonna do that in just a minute. First, I'd like to swap the Pinion for a faster one. So it does do excellent in the dirt, and well, on the concrete too, sliding around, but I know a lot of people are gonna want more speed. So we're gonna see what size tooth Pinion we can squeeze in here, see how much faster it is, and do it on two-wheel drive mode. It's very smooth driving. I really like the way that it feels. Obviously, this is a simple procedure. It looks like it's a really easy platform to work on. It's a 15 tooth. These inner fender wells most certainly keep quite a bit of junk out. I can't find a claimed speed on here from the manufacturer. Maybe I looked in the wrong place, but I looked at two different websites. My, what big teeth you have. Yep. All right, a 20 tooth is slightly too big, so we're gonna go with an 18. I started to drill out these slots just a little bit more. If you do, you could fit a 20 tooth, but a lot of people aren't gonna wanna do that, so I'm just gonna go with an 18. Boop. Yes, the 18 fits easily. Mesh looking good. Let's go see if we can break 35. What did I run through? Little mini swamp. What? Oh, now this is gonna be all gross. Really? All right, two-wheel drive. I think it was channel 3. Oh. Yeah, that's gonna take some practice. Back to four-wheel drive. $34. And here we are. I've got it all rinsed off because it was extremely filthy. We'll go over a few visual differences, differences underneath to the MJX one, of course, and then talk about performance stuff too. First and foremost is the different liveries. However, the KM version, the King Motors version, you can get in the Abu Dhabi livery as well. So this one you do get the choice. The MJX has body clips with tethers for the front and the rear, and the KM is much more streamlined with no body clips. Visible body clips, I should say. So you can see that the KM has this extra lip where the license plate is in the front. That breaks off pretty easy on the MJX, but once it breaks off, it still doesn't look bad. With that said, this body does feel a lot thicker right here. Up here, feels about the same. Another thing is the MJX comes with a second set of wheels and tires. These more for street and these more for off-road. The KM does only come with the off-road set. We had that bad body rub in the back here, which after I trimmed that body, I didn't have any issues with it. And some people complained on the MJX that the wheel arches were too big, but I didn't have to trim anything. This one was 8 miles an hour faster. One of these inner fender wells are falling off. They're held on by double stick tape. Underneath the body of these things, besides the fender wells, are very similar. Wheelbase is almost exactly the same. The KM comes in and probably a 1/4 inch longer. They both have center diffs. They both have the same size motor. The motor on the MJX is censored. Without modification, it seems that the biggest pinion you can go with this is 18. And that's still slower than this with the pinion size it comes with, which I believe was a 12 tooth, and it'll go to a 15 tooth. You can modify the motor mount some and probably squeeze at least a 20 tooth on there, but still, you'll likely end up with that 37 that this gets on the stock pinion. Now, seriously, maybe I did something wrong. I mean, it's an off-road car, so they're not made for speed. They're made for torque and kicking dust around, which both of these do amazingly. But I do feel like 29 miles an hour is not enough. Just maybe I'm doing something wrong on the transmitter. I tried finding videos, so let me know if I missed something, but I don't think I did. Now, I will say I think the KM has better suspension on it, while the MJX has a bit more bounce to it. All that kind of stuff can be tuned with shock oils. Both have full metal drivetrains. They both have metal chassis. Both have droop screws for suspension adjustments. They're both built very well. This one just seems to have a smoother, maybe it's the drivetrain, maybe it's the electronics, even though this is the one with the censored motor. Something about it feels smoother. It also has those slightly better tuned shocks. There is something that feels just a little bit more premium about the KM, minus of course the couple of setbacks that it has. But I would say that the MJX gives you more value for the money. Maker Fire is the cheapest place that I've seen this car from a registered MJX dealer. I've got that linked in the description and a coupon code that you can use. I'll put it on the screen right here. Don't forget to enter that raffle if you're interested in trying to win this thing. I'm curious what your thoughts are. Which one would you go with, or which one are you gonna go with, and which livery do you like better? I have a second channel now also where it'll be a little bit more relaxed and laid back as far as editing goes. That's where I'll talk more about stuff and show you things around the shop, maybe cars or projects that are coming up. Probably do some cheaper car reviews on that channel that don't necessarily belong here. I named it Derby City Plus, and I'll have a link down below, down there. Now I get to run back to my house in the rain. Pool's nice and clean now, and it's been shocked. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you it's the greatest pool vacuum in the world, but out of the two I've ever tried, it's definitely the best one. Maybe one to consider if you're in the market for such a thing.